All right, so today we're diving deep into a business story that really makes you think, one of those that kind of sticks with you, and it's the story of ShowNo Towels.
Ah, yes.
After its Shark Tank appearance,
Huh?
we're going to be using, pulling out insights from a podcast called Shark Tank Nightmares, ShowNo Towels and No Show,
Okay.
to really dissect what happened here.
Yeah, this is, I think this is one of those cases where it's, on the surface, a very promising product.
Right.
It even got a deal with Lori
Greiner.
the queen of QVC.
Yeah.
But it ultimately just did not find its footing in the market. And so we're going to sort of go beyond the surface here and try to understand, what were the core reasons for that disconnect between the initial enthusiasm and the eventual failure?
It's that question that pulls you in, right?
Yeah, totally.
It's like, how do you go from Shark Tank to,
like bust.
Yeah, complete, retail shutdown.
Yeah.
And Lori Greiner, we all know she's got an incredible track record, especially with QVC.
She knows what sells.
So she saw something in this product. So what was missing,
What
were those crucial elements?
It makes you think about market validation in a really deep way.
Yeah.
And the challenges of, even experienced investors like her can face, predicting these things long term.
Absolutely. So for those who need a refresher, ShowNo Towels was the product, and it was pitched by Shelley Eller.
Right.
And the concept was really straightforward. It was basically like a poncho towel with a hole in it.
Right.
So you could change discreetly at the pool or the beach or, the water park.
Right. So the core value proposition there was, offering a way to change privately.
Yeah.
Especially, in public places where changing rooms might be inconvenient or crowded or just non-existent.
Right. Or you just don't want to use them.
Yeah.
You're like, I just want to change right here.
Right.
And I don't want someone to see me. So Shelley went on Shark Tank, and she was seeking $50,000 for 25% of her company.
Right.
Valuing it at $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
And Lori Greiner saw potential.
She did.
And she offered $75,000 for that same 25%.
Wow.
So that bumped the valuation up to $300,000.
Not bad.
And she had a vision to introduce it on QVC.
Smart.
And target those water parks.
Makes sense.
The water park industry.
So right away you have an injection of capital.
Right.
And you have the endorsement from, a shark like Lori.
Huge.
That's got to provide a significant boost.
Of course.
Right out the gate, and a really powerful validation signal for the product.
Absolutely.
It really shows the power of the immediate impact Shark Tank can have.
Okay, so let's get down to the central issue here.
Right.
Was there a real need for this?
Yeah, was there a market?
Like a demand. Yeah, a genuine, significant need.
Right.
Because when you think about it, people have been managing with regular towels and whatever changing facilities are available for forever.
For a long time, yeah.
So was the problem that Shelley was trying to solve, was it pressing enough that people would actually go out and buy this specific product?
Yeah, that's a great question because, on the surface, private changing sounds nice.
Yeah, it does.
But the existing solutions are really, really simple.
Yeah.
And affordable, like just a regular towel.
Yeah, I've got 10 towels.
Exactly. My linen closet.
Exactly. And most people do.
Yeah.
So for ShowNo Towels to really succeed,
right,
that added convenience had to be substantial.
Yeah.
Enough to overcome those established habits.
Right.
And justify buying a brand new item for that purpose.
And this leads us to what the podcast source really highlights as a major miscalculation.
Right.
And this is where it gets interesting.
Okay. This whole idea of expecting huge orders from water parks. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Water parks operate primarily on a towel rental model.
Oh.
They don't really sell that many towels to their visitors.
Okay.
So that's a fundamental misunderstanding of the water park business model.
So, they thought that water parks would be a primary sales channel.
They did.
But that just shows a lack of market research into, really how these businesses operate.
It's like the podcast uses this great analogy.
Okay.
Of, it's like selling disposable ponchos to an umbrella store.
Wow.
It just doesn't, that's not their business.
That's not their business.
Yeah.
Why would a water park who makes money renting towels want to all of a sudden stock and sell an alternative,
But it's really, it's such a good analogy because it really highlights that misalignment between the product strategy
and the customer's actual business.
Right. And it's so pivotal because
totally.
The revenue model of water parks just isn't set up for bulk towel purchases by guests. They're not repeat customers for the towel itself.
Right. They're going to buy a ticket to the park.
Exactly.
And then maybe, spend money on food and drinks.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a locker. Or, rent a towel.
Right. But they're not going to buy, dozens of ShowNo towels to take home.
Right.
So this anticipated major revenue stream was just aiming at a business model that wasn't designed to accommodate it. It's not where the volume was going to come from.
Yeah.
And this really, for anyone listening who's thinking about starting a business, this just underscores the absolute necessity of market research.
Thorough market research.
You can't just identify a potential customer. You have to understand their whole business.
Their business model.
The revenue streams.
Yeah. How do they make money?
Yeah, and their buying behavior.
What do they actually buy?
Yeah.
What are they used to?
Yeah, exactly. And so failing to grasp that was a critical misstep.
For sure.
And then we get to QVC.
Okay.
Right?
So the Queen's domain.
Lori's home turf.
Right.
You would think with her understanding of that market.
Yeah, she's got the magic touch.
And QVC's massive reach. This would be like
a slam dunk.
A perfect storm for success.
Yeah.
But it didn't really resonate with QVC shoppers.
It didn't. Huh.
So why do you think that was?
Well, the podcast suggests that QVC's audience, they're really looking for products that offer a really demonstrable improvement or solution to everyday problems.
Yeah, like that wow factor that you can see on TV.
Yeah, exactly. Something that's very easy to explain.
Yeah.
And very visual.
Yes. Visually compelling.
And, ShowNo Towels.
Yeah.
It offered some convenience, but maybe it just wasn't.
Yeah.
Like that must have life-changing product that, makes people pick up the phone and order it right away.
I love how they put it in the podcast, they say.
What do they say?
If it doesn't grill chicken and fold laundry, it ain't selling on TVC.
That's so true.
That's so funny, but it's so true.
It's so true.
They want something that's either multifunctional or super innovative or that solves a problem that everyone has in a big way.
Yeah.
And this was just
a towel.
A specialized towel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Potentially useful, but maybe not,
Right. Not broad appeal.
Not that broad immediate appeal. And, the QVC, it's all about that urgency.
Right. Creating that sense of urgency.
Yeah. And highlighting the immediate benefits.
You're like, I need this now.
Yeah.
In my life.
And maybe with ShowNo Towels, it's just like,
it wasn't that urgent.
Not urgent enough. Yeah. And so sales, faltered in the water park sector.
Right.
They didn't do that great on QVC.
Right.
They were likely struggling in retail because they didn't have brand awareness.
Yeah, no one knew who they were.
Right. And so then they hit this challenge of rising manufacturing costs.
Oh, yeah.
And without those high sales volumes, they couldn't achieve economies of scale.
Right.
So the cost to make each towel was just staying high.
Yeah, if you don't hit your projected sales numbers, your production costs per item stay higher.
Exactly.
Which really squeezes those profit margins.
Yeah.
And it makes it so much harder to have healthy cash flow.
Yeah, cash is king.
Yeah, it really is the lifeblood of any business.
And so it's like you've got limited traction in the water park sector.
Right.
Disappointing performance on QVC.
Mm-hmm.
And, probably struggling in retail.
Yeah.
What happens?
So you run out of money.
You run out of money.
Yeah.
And so the podcast details how ultimately they had to shut down.
Wow. So even Lori
didn't see a return on her investment.
That's rare.
And Shelley Eller, the founder, had to go back to a regular job after being on Shark Tank and getting a deal.
Yeah, you really never know.
You never know.
It's really a reminder that Shark Tank is great.
Yeah.
It's amazing exposure. It's, capital.
It's a huge opportunity.
It is.
But it doesn't guarantee
It does.
long-term success.
It really doesn't.
Because you've got to have a viable product.
A great product.
A good market strategy.
A solid market strategy.
And the ability to execute.
Yeah, you got to be able to get it done.
Okay, so what are some of the big takeaways?
Big takeaways.
For, our listeners.
All right, so number one.
Yeah.
I think this story really highlights how important it is to solve a real problem.
A real significant problem.
Yeah, for your customer. Like, who is your customer?
Yes.
Who are you solving this problem for?
Yeah.
Because if there's a cheap and easy solution already out there,
right,
you've got to convince people that your product is so much better.
Yeah.
It's worth the extra money and effort.
Yeah, and people are comfortable with what they know. Especially when it's cheap and it works.
Right, like a towel.
Like a towel?
That costs $5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So as they say in the podcast, you got to innovate.
Right.
Don't just add a hole to an existing product.
I love that.
That's so good.
Yeah.
And then the second takeaway, I think, is really all about market research.
Yeah.
You've got to know your target market inside and out.
Inside and out.
And the ShowNo Towels story with the water parks is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Because they were expecting sales, but the model is rentals.
Rentals.
So you have to understand not just who your customer is, but how their business works.
Yeah, how do they make money?
Yeah, how do they buy things?
What are their habits?
Yeah, what are they used to?
Exactly.
And that assumption about the water parks was a fatal flaw.
Yeah, umbrellas in the desert.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly.
It's just brilliant.
It's not enough to just identify a demographic.
Yeah.
You've got to really do your research.
Totally.
You got to understand their business model. Yeah.
Their priorities, how they make decisions.
Yeah.
Okay, and then lastly,
ShowNo
Towels highlights the challenges of retail.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't have a brand.
Right.
No one's heard of you.
Yeah, you're starting from scratch.
You're starting from scratch, and yeah, Shark Tank can give you a boost.
It can.
But it doesn't automatically create a loyal customer base.
That's not a magic bullet.
It's not a magic bullet.
Yeah.
And so in this case, the podcast suggests maybe they should have focused on e-commerce first.
Interesting.
Direct to consumer.
Yeah.
Build that brand online.
Build the brand.
Get that feedback.
Yeah.
And they even say,
Shopify
is greater than Shark Tank deals.
Sometimes.
In this scenario.
Sometimes.
Because if you think about it, relying on those big retail partnerships or QVC without first building that online presence, it's risky.
Yeah, especially if you've got a product that people don't really understand yet.
Right. They need to be educated.
Right. That's not what it is. So, ShowNo Towels, really, it's a valuable story.
It is.
But it's a cautionary tale.
It is a cautionary tale.
Because you had the excitement of Shark Tank. Yeah. You had the deal.
Big valuation.
But they just didn't understand the market need.
Right.
The strategy was flawed.
Yeah.
And retail is tough.
Retail's really tough.
So it's a reminder that innovation is great.
Absolutely.
But you need a deep understanding of the problem you're solving.
Yeah.
You need to know your customer.
Inside and out.
And you need a realistic strategy to reach them.
This is making me think as I go about my day.
Yeah.
I encounter so many products and services.
Oh.
And I wonder, which ones are really solving a need in my life?
Yeah.
Which ones are just like nice to have?
Yeah.
And how does that deep understanding of the audience really differentiate the winners from the no-shows?
From the no-shows like ShowNo Towels, something to think about.
Lots to ponder. All right, well, this has been another deep dive.
It has.
Until next time.
See ya.
Bye.